You've seen the memes, working at Starbucks with a $100,000 degree. Funny, sure, but behind every joke is a brutal truth. College has become one of the biggest financial traps of our generation. The promise was simple: work hard, get good grades, go to college, and you'll be set for life. That was the deal our parents believed in. But for Gen Z, especially in the US and UK, that promise has shattered. So here's the real question. How did higher education, the thing that was supposed to unlock freedom, become a financial prison keeping millions stuck in debt and burned out? Today, we're breaking down the student debt illusion. Not the polished university brochures, not the TikTok study hacks, but the raw truth of how a degree can cost you decades of your future. The false promise of education. College used to be marketed as the golden ticket. Invest in your degree, and the job will follow. But the math no longer adds up. In the US, the average student debt is over $37,000 per borrower. In the UK, tuition fees have tripled since 2010, and grads leave university with an average of £45,000 plus in debt. That's before interest starts piling on. And here's the kicker: wages haven't kept up. A study in The Guardian revealed that UK grads are earning only 20% more than non-graduates. Meanwhile, US studies show many millennials and Gen Z are still working retail or service jobs years after graduating. The result? For the first time in modern history, a degree no longer guarantees a secure future. Instead, it often locks you into decades of repayment. The reality check. Let's talk about the lived experience. You've got 22-year-olds walking across the graduation stage with a smile, but already carrying more debt than their parents ever did buying their first house. Meet Emily from Ohio. She shared on TikTok how she graduated with a psychology degree and $120,000 in loans. Her dream was grad school, but now she works in retail just to make her loan payments. Her video went viral because thousands commented, "Same." Or James in London, who tweeted, "I owe £52,000 for a degree in international politics. I make £11 and 50 pence an hour in customer service. Education was supposed to be my way out, but it feels like a chain I can't break." And then there's the cultural irony. Every meme, every TikTok joke about being broke with a degree is basically collective therapy for Gen Z. But deep down, everyone knows it's not funny when it's your life. Why this trap exists? So how did we get here? The business of education. Universities are no longer just places of learning. They're billion-dollar industries. They sell campus life, shiny facilities, and networking dreams, while burying students in loan contracts they barely understand at 18 years old. The debt illusion. Politicians and lenders market student loans as good debt. Why? Because it's tied to education. But debt is debt. And for many, this good debt delays buying a house, starting a family, or even moving out of their parents' home. The shifting economy. Jobs that once required degrees are disappearing. Meanwhile, entire industries, from tech to creative freelancing, now value skills and portfolios more than diplomas. In fact, Google, Apple, and Tesla have all dropped degree requirements for many roles. The illusion is this: you're told you need the degree to succeed. But in reality, the degree often just secures your place in the debt cycle. The pain points for Gen Z. Let's get raw about what this actually feels like for Gen Z. Delayed adulthood. Can't buy a house because your monthly payment looks like a second rent check. Mental health toll. Anxiety, depression, and burnout from the crushing weight of loans. The American Psychological Association found 1 in 5 young adults cite student debt as their main source of stress. Paycheck to paycheck reality. Even grads in good jobs often feel like they're working just to stay afloat, not to build a life. This is why so many young people are turning to side hustles, TikTok fame, or crypto dreams, not because they're greedy, but because traditional paths feel broken. Now, here's the part they don't teach in freshman orientation. You don't escape the trap by waiting for a miracle. Learn skills outside of your degree: coding, marketing, freelancing, trades that actually pay the bills. Push for systemic change. Student loan forgiveness in the US and tuition reform in the UK are hot debates, but they need voices behind them. Most importantly, Separate your worth from your degree. A diploma doesn't define your intelligence, your hustle, or your potential. The student debt illusion is one of the greatest lies sold to Gen Z. College was supposed to unlock freedom. Instead, it chained millions into financial prisons. But knowledge is power. When you see through the illusion, you stop being a victim of the system. So I'll leave you with this. A degree can get you knowledge, but self-education, creativity, and resilience, that's what gets you freedom. If this hit home for you, drop your own student debt story in the comments. You're not alone. And the more we share, the harder it is for the system to keep us quiet.